$88 billion of outstanding collections haunt millions of Americans who is faced with medical debt. It is said that 1 in 5 Americans are affected by this billion-dollar number, but the good news is that medical bills is common to errors due to such a complex billing system. So watching this video tells me that you may be a victim of this medical debt crisis, and I'm assuming that you may need some advice and insight on getting this medical debt removed, right? Good, because in this video, I got you. What's up, thinkers? Chris Robinson here, reminding you guys to like the video to show your support. Also, be sure to watch through the entire video so that you can know all the details on how to effectively remove medical debt from your credit reports. Enough said, let's jump into the details. So according to the CFPB, over 22% of Americans suffer from medical debt. And if you're wondering how do these medical bills even end up on your credit report, it all starts with the doctor or the hospital sending out or attempting to send out medical bills, and if they're not paid within a few billing cycles, they will then send it to collections. And when this happens and the collection starts reporting to your credit reports, your credit scores usually take a dive. Okay, so now that it's being reported to your credit report, you're probably wondering, how could I remove it? Should I pay it? Should I settle with them, or what? In the past, anyone who knows about credit repair would simply tell you to never pay these collection accounts. However, after a few amendments to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, this should no longer be the case. Okay, so credit specialists in the past told you to never pay, but now we have this guy telling me this is no longer the case. You're probably wondering, what am I talking about and where are you going with this? Well, the Medical Debt Relief Act of 2021 is a new amendment to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which comes with many benefits. And I'm sure you probably want to continue watching this video because this is some stuff that you probably want to hear. So the good news is, as of July of 2022, medical bills that has been paid should be removed from your credit and should no longer be reported to your credit reports. If this is the case, you need to contact these credit bureaus and have them remove it. And in addition to that, medical bills has been halted to a 1-year waiting period before they can even be reported to your credit reports. So to answer your question on if you should pay it or not, the answer is yes if you want to get rid of it in the fastest way possible. However, you need to continue watching this video because I will explain how you should dispute this medical debt in order to get it effectively removed after these few details. Also, it's important to note that according to Equifax, TransUnion, as well as Experian, somewhere in the beginning of 2023, they will no longer include any medical debt that is under $500 on your credit report. Since we know that all living generations is affected by medical debt, and most specifically those millennials, this will be a tremendous benefit for those of us who is harmed by medical collections. However, with the drastic rise in the number of Americans being insured, and even after the Affordable Cares Act, you'll think that medical debt will be at a minimum, right? Well, just being insured doesn't necessarily mean that you're covered. So it's important that you analyze your explanation of benefits provided by your insurance provider so that you can know exactly what's covered and what isn't. Because even if your insurance provider were to pay a portion of your medical bills, the medical provider will then contact you to get the remaining balance on that medical bill, and if it's not paid within a specific time frame, they will then reach out to a collection company or send it to a collection company so that they can collect on that debt. And depending on that amount, many medical providers will file a lawsuit in order to legally demand that money, which can also lead to your paychecks being garnished. So now that we know how these medical bills work and how they end up on our credit reports, let's now talk about how we can remove them through the disputing process. If you watched my videos before, you would know some of the details on disputing negative items on your credit report. However, medical bills tend to have a slightly different process. So the first step, you need to send a debt validation request letter to the collection company. And there are plenty of example letters out there on our internet, including on my website at DIYcreditboost.com. However, you want to be specific on your demands as well as specify the 30-day deadline in order for them to respond. Otherwise, they are required to remove the collection from your credit reports. In most cases, especially if they are not the original account holder, they will simply just remove it. Otherwise, the next step depends on their response. So they can respond primarily in two ways. First, they can send a letter stating that it is outside of the statute of limitation, which is required for validation. And what I mean by this is that if they have contacted you in the past, you will have 30 days to request for a validation from the time of that initial contact. Otherwise, by law, they are not required to validate that debt. And secondly, they may send you a billing statement. So let's just say they do send you that letter to where they do not have to legally validate the debt because it's outside of your grace period. What you need to do next is go through your credit reports, analyze for inaccuracies and errors, and submit a dispute with the credit bureaus based on these flaws. And trust me, over 80% of all medical collections has errors, and you'll be surprised how easy it is to get it removed based on the many small things that many people overlook. So don't hold back when it comes to disputing them. Okay, so now let's assume you have received a billing statement. This could be a good thing, and you could have an upper hand on these collection companies if that billing statement have details about your health treatment or your medical personal information. This is because you could complain about your privacy being violated and utilize HIPAA laws in order to get it removed, which in most cases the debt collector will remove it in order to avoid a lawsuit. However, if that billing statement does not violate your privacy, you then need to follow the first step, which is to dispute it. And also be sure to analyze that billing statement for any errors in your name, address, amounts, insurance providers, and etc. Alright guys, so we have reached the end of the video. I hope you found the information of this video helpful enough for you to leave a like. This also helps this video reach others who may need to know this information, so I appreciate your support. Also, be sure to watch these suggested videos because YouTube think you may like these videos, and I see you guys in the next one. Peace.